everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 170. I remembered this time, everybody. I just want that on the record, that I remembered what episode we're on. I would also like it on the record that I've done this for 170 episodes now, so I think it's okay when I forget sometimes, even though I forgot when we were doing, like, episode 12 or something.
You would think that doing it for 170 episodes would make it routine and you could remember more easily.
That says some very nice things about my brain that are simply not true. So, we've got a pretty full house on this one. So, this week, hi, I'm Casey, by the way. I'm your host, the usual. But, you know, I've not missed an episode, so you should probably know who I am by now. With us, we have Weasel.
Hi, hey.
We have Spoken.
A...
B. We have Patient.
Hello, everyone. Sorry for consciousness and subconscious.
I think he means the other two that I just introduced, but he's being cross-brain. A triumphant return for fan favorite Kenshi618.
Hi, I'm Kenshi618, the greatest Kenshi in all of space and time. Did you miss me?
And I am...
I missed him. I really did. And
I
we
missed him.
have... Oh, see? I'm not the only one, Kenshi. And
Yay.
we have
at least three of them.
new person on the podcast joining us, Blushweaver. Patience recommended some of her stuff before, so say hi.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yay. So, as usual, the way we're starting the episode is how we always start the episode. We start with what we're doing because what we're doing is what we're doing. So, what have we been doing? Kenshi, let's start with you because you haven't been here in freaking ages.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, let me think. The last time I was here, what the hell happened? That
It was like a
weeks
month ago.
Good God. Let's see.
Actually, it might have been longer.
Last I recall, the last thing I remember doing of any note, or the first thing far back, was I submitted a draft of my story to some of the idiot people on this podcast,
Oh,
like
shit,
Casey.
yes, you
and
did. Fuck. Forgot
all
about
that
that. Forgot about it again, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's cool. You don't need to read the whole thing. You read part of it and you talked about it. It's fine. So anyway, they read part of it and they left some notes and they talked to me about it, which was cool. I appreciate the feedback. Let's see what else happened. Oh yeah. Most of the time I've been gone is because I've been wrestling like a whole lot, both on Thursday nights and Saturdays. So that's both podcasts, a lot of weeks. And my body hurts, guys. Wrestling is hard.
Yeah.
What did you tell us just now about your wrestling?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hard.
Oh, yeah. I got the shit beat out of me because I'm a babyface, basically, which is a good guy. And in order to get people on your side, you must have sympathy built for you by getting your ass kicked for long periods of time and flying around and just...
Wait, so this is air quotes professional wrestling where it's staged?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just want this to be clear to everyone involved. The one that could probably kick the ass of most of the people there is the one that's getting the shit kicked out of him every time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I know this. The moves I use are very, very effective in getting that point across. So...
So I'm guessing a babyface is the good version of a jobber?
No, he's just a basic. That's just the name for a good guy, babyface.
Oh.
I thought that was... Oh, so face is a shortened version of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was just face and heel. So, I don't know wrestling.
It's fine. No one does, so I don't talk about it much. But that's why I've been gone most of the time. And I had an opening this week because the promoter that I work with, he's kind of gone down to Florida for this week. So I had a week open, so I decided, hey, why not slide in on Thursday afternoon and say, what's up, everybody? And that's why I'm here now.
Oh, hopefully we'll actually have you on more often now that I can actually change up the schedule a little bit. Yeah. As I've been saying for like 3 weeks now, this is actually going to be the last episode with this current format. I forgot to mention it at the top. So, we'll be splitting the shows for next week and doing different stuff. Don't know whether everything will come out next week, but it'll start coming out more regularly after that. Anyway,
Let's
you were
see,
saying,
what
sorry.
Yeah, okay. In this stretch of time, I also got a human-sized 150-pound punching bag to train with. It's extremely heavy, and it's awesome.
Well,
Nice.
One thing about it,
bag, isn't it?
yeah, it's shaped like a person, like
Oh.
arms and legs and everything.
Oh,
Okay.
So I can like do moves on it and stuff.
and when you're done, you can use it as a body pillow.
You know, I kind of could.
Yeah, sounds like it, yeah.
Yep.
That wasn't even a joke.
Actually, I say do you. You've just realized this. Will you? Is the real question.
No, I will not. The reason being that having it is weird enough. Like when I got it, it was like outside of my house. I like left it outside. So like there was this gigantic black bag shaped like a human being standing outside my house for hours. I can only
I missed
imagine.
you so much.
I can only imagine what it looked like to everyone else that lives around me that saw this. And to make matters worse, it's in my basement now, and my basement has windows, and
God.
the bag couldn't stand up on its own. So I like had to wrap it around. I like put its arms around one of the support beams to help it stand up. So now it looks like it's a person chained to like the support beam in my basement.
Put a blanket over it, not covering it, but just covering like the lower body, and put a bucket next to it.
Your poor neighbors.
Yeah,
People.
my thoughts exactly.
We're all horrible people. We're actively helping one of our number with ideas for making it seem like he has a sex dungeon.
You don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe this is
Put
just
a
a
wig
cover for
on
the
it.
actual person that he has chained up. You don't know.
And this thing is like the size of a person, so getting it inside of the house was an effort. Like,
So did you have to grab it around the neck and sort of drag it backwards into the door?
Okay.
I
Everyone,
did.
can we please move on from this? I think Weasel's going to have an aneurysm.
okay, I'm done. But yes, I did have to maneuver it in strange ways to get it inside. Oh God.
Wait for a minute.
I think we've lost someone there.
I adore this man now.
Alrighty.
Welcome back, Kenchi.
So, yeah, came back with a bang, I guess.
Can't breathe.
All right.
Maybe mute a little, Weasel, and just take a minute.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm okay.
All right. So let's see. Anything else I did? I think I got the. I got the game Steep.
Oh yeah, the
The
snowboarding one.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. It's pretty. It's like free roaming. It's not as outlandish as SSX was, although it kind of is. Because instead of just snowboarding, you can also ski, and you have a wingsuit and
Yeah,
parachute.
and base jump with a wingsuit, so you can basically slam into a rock face with your face at like 100 miles an hour.
It's outstanding. It's a great game. I enjoy it. It's just one of those games I pop in when I'm not doing anything. I just want to kill time. It's pretty good. It's a good looking game. Like the environment's beautiful.
Suddenly I remember a Disney Channel original movie about winter sports where these two brothers owned a mountain resort, but they didn't get along, so they divided the mountain between skiers and snowboarders. One brother liked skiing, the other liked snowboarding.
I remember that movie you're talking about. I have no idea what it's called, but yes.
Wasn't it like Johnny Tsunami
Hmm.
2 or something?
No, it's Johnny Tsunami. That's it. That's it.
Well, that's a thing I need to link, apparently, so I have no idea what that is, but okay.
I'm so glad you reminded me of that name. It was killing me forever. I couldn't remember what that movie was called.
I did another good.
That's exactly what it was, yes.
That's not...
The story was Johnny was a surfer who had to go to, like, Vermont or something. So instead of surfing, he started snowboarding because
Hey, Ben and Jerry.
he could find. So, yeah. Cool.
Okay, I thought I recognized the guy on the cover, but I guess not. No, he's apparently known for that movie and nothing else. So,
Well, they needed a Hawaiian.
All right, I'm done. I think that's all I got.
that's all you got?
For now, I guess. If I remember anything else, I think I should save some stuff for later in the world. I think I've destroyed enough people's worlds with my stuff I've listed already.
Alrighty. I guess I'll go next. I'll be very quick because not much. First up, I finished Nier Automata, almost Automata. I keep pronouncing it wrong because it makes me think Nekomata. Yeah, so I finished that basically. There's 2 endings out of the 26 that I haven't done. One is the secret boss that murdered me in about 5 seconds.
And everyone's spoiled for you, including me. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's alright. Yeah. And the other main ending, because there's like 4 endings that you can do that are like main story endings, and there's another one that's like a bonus ending that will delete your save if you actually finish it. Yeah, it's a thing that the Nier series does a lot. The first one was like 4 endings, and you do the last one, and it deletes all of your save. It deletes everything. It's a good technique. It puts a pin in literally the entire game. It's great.
Hold on, Casey. I have a question first before you go any further.
Shoot.
Is Persona 5 out yet?
Persona 5 comes out on Tuesday.
Okay, good.
That's the second thing I was going to talk about. I got an email from Shop2 today. Saying my pre-order is they took payment for it, and apparently Past Me was like surprisingly prescient and actually set it for next day delivery. So when that ships out, I get it the next day, and I am dead to the world for the foreseeable future, effectively. So yeah, that comes out next week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get it on Tuesday then.
That's a good shout. I'm so ready for that game. I'm so ready for that game.
I've heard great things recently.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the other thing that I'm looking forward to. I need to clean my shit up so that I have space so I can actually get to my PS4 so I can play that game. That is my life for the next 4 weeks at least.
The second or third best fanfic I ever wrote is a Persona 3 portable fanfic.
Okay. You say
I'm
wrote or
a
read?
huge fan. Persona 3 portable.
Yeah, that you wrote or read. I misheard.
You said wrote, I think.
Second or third best fanfic I ever wrote.
Oh, fair enough.
Wrote,
I don't know
wrote
where
it
to
myself.
rank the Persona fic that I wrote. Technically it's the longest, but I probably wouldn't say it's particularly good.
So, what I'm saying is I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's basically how this started. Most of the people that were on this podcast were fans of Persona, way back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my week. I got literally nothing else. That's what I've been doing, is playing Nier and just doing literally everything. Weasel, you go next.
Oh, sure. All my grinding in Sims 3 is finally paid off. My sim now has 2 children. And funny story about their birth just the other day. What I did was, Matilda is a witch. She's pregnant with her husband Derek, who's a vampire's child. And then I had their robot.
Okay, you cut out there for a second, and all I heard was robot. So I heard the mum's a witch, the dad's a vampire, and ... robot. That's what I got.
She's pregnant with his child, and the robot I'm having cultivate a plant sim out of a forbidden fruit seed head. So the Toda picked it, so now she has a plant sim daughter, and then hours later she gave birth to her child. So they're effectively twin sisters despite not being related at all.
Sims got weird, you guys.
This sounds like a really bad soap opera.
Yeah.
Not really. We're all getting along fine. They both grew into toddlers, and they both got imaginary friends in the mail.
Oh,
Both of them.
It's either a really bad soap opera or a really good supernatural genre show. I can't tell.
Okay, so randomly after your child is born, they may get a toy in the mail, and if your child grows up, it'll be there to interact with.
Okay, Weasel's kind of cutting out a lot right now.
Oh,
so we're gonna
sorry.
see whether the connection comes back, and we'll come back to you. Okay, Weasel?
Sorry.
Okay, it's alright. Not your fault.
Sorry.
Spoken.
Is something wrong spoken, or was that just about Weasel's connection?
Well, Weasel's connection is annoying. Latest theatrical production finished up. I'm getting called in more often by my boss.
Oh, don't tell us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
I need to...
How inconvenient.
Yeah, I know. Well, bye, guys.
Oh, you're getting called in right now. Okay, I was confused.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for
That's
coming.
sucks.
Spoken. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
Bye,
Me
Spoken.
too.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay.
Later.
That
Patient.
was sweet, guys.
Yeah. Patient, what have you been doing this week?
Yeah, I know. Well, this week has been a bit stressful for me. A bunch of mid-semester positions coming onto me at once. But it seems to have resolved itself for the most part by now. Fortunately, I have some very understanding, very good professors who are, well, very understanding as long as they see that you're putting forth diligent effort. So that's good. Aside from that, as you may have seen, the Crossbrain published something completely different the other day. A pair of omakes that we had written by one of our more talented fans, TheRealEvanSG. One moment. What? He is the author of his own one-piece self-insert called Ripples in the Pond. It's shall we say a bit more of a stereotypical self-insert plot, but I really don't know how to describe it because I don't read a lot of good self-inserts, and I like this one all right. It's interesting. I'm very interested to see exactly where he's going with it.
Okay.
It's twisting a few things up already.
Worth noting,
That
I didn't actually
Pardon?
know that you'd posted anything specific because it wasn't posted by Zomniac, the thread creator, which...
Oh, sorry. We posted it everywhere except for Space Battles because it was already on Space Battles.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, just a couple of not so much omakes as what Oda does is mini-series, basically things that happen off-screen with characters that have already been seen. So, not the last time we're going to do something like that, but our current project is focusing on an omake, focusing on, may as well say it here, a past filler arc that a lot of people seem to think that we weren't going to do. So I'll just leave it at that and let people draw their own conclusions. Also, on the note of that, something interesting that happened. Zomniac proposed the idea of... One second. Zomniac proposed the idea of cutting the omake in half and publishing half of it first, so that then we could get back to Chapter 50, which we thought that a lot of fans were going to like more. And the results were pretty much split in half. Pretty much everyone on Space Battles wanted us to finish the omake and publish all of it at once, but everyone on Sufficient Velocity wanted us to cut the omake in half and then get back to Chapter 50. So, interesting division of opinion between those two sides. Wasn't aware that they were that different before.
I'm a proponent for splitting it up, personally, if that matters at all to you.
We must go by the majority, Kenshi.
But I'm
Which
important.
one's the majority? You've literally got two audiences there saying diametrically opposite things.
It's just that so many more people come to Space Battles, it seems.
I use Sufficient Velocity.
I'm important, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany. Why can't my opinion matter?
Mahogany!
Valid point.
This is a solid point. It's solid like mahogany, which I hear is a very fine wood.
I have many leather-bound books.
So, Kenshi, could you say you have some mahogany?
Sure, let's go with that.
I don't see how that was a joke, nor do I wish to see how that was a joke. So moving on,
Okay.
What else is going on?
Wood. He has wood.
Yeah, I figured that was it. A bit too...
You're not good at these jokes. You're not.
I know.
Just too...
But I enjoy trying.
Anyway, where was I? College, Crossbrain, the poll. The Crossbrain as a whole has come across a first, I believe.
Oh, that actually left me in suspense because you cut out when it said has come across a, and then it cut out. We're having some connection issues for some reason, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure why.
Sort of like how you're having connection issues right now. I heard... that left me in suspense because you said that's basically all I just heard. Can you hear me?
It's me. God damn it. Okay.
Yeah, it's doing it.
Yeah,
You're doing it for me too, Casey.
Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, if we pause the recording while I fix this?
Pausing, certainly.
Yep.
Sure.
Alright, give me like a couple minutes. And we're back, and hoping that everything is resolved. In which case, Patient, we were with you previously, talking about something.
Yes. Well, I was talking about... that's right. I remember where I was now. Just a recommendation of a manga series, more recent manga series that the Crossbrain as a whole has gotten into. Anyone here familiar with a series called The Promised Neverland?
Nope.
No.
Too dark for me.
Right. Of course, we recommended it to our consciousness already. It is a bit dark, but it definitely bears looking into. The plot line is going through all sorts of twists. It doesn't slow down in the tension and suspense. It's amazing, really. It doesn't have a Wikipedia page yet. It's so far published about 32 chapters with weekly updates.
Wait,
So,
it's not on Wikipedia. That means it doesn't exist.
as I was saying.
Sorry.
The basic plot line is revealed in the first chapter, and I don't want to spoil it. So, I'm just going to leave it up to whoever wants to look into it to read it and then see what they think of it.
Okay.
Quite interesting. So that's a recommendation from all three parts of the cross brain and, well, all three of the Freudian trio anyway.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. It's still really weird that you refer to everyone like that. Anything else?
I'm okay being the subconscious.
No, I don't think there's anything else. I think, I believe that's everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weasel, will finish your stuff off because you got interrupted.
So while Matoda was pregnant with the vampire's child, the robot of the family was cultivating the plant sim, and the plant sim reached maturity and was able to be picked just mere hours before Matoda gave birth. So they are effectively twin sisters born a few hours after each other. And sure enough, when they aged up from babies to toddlers, the plant sim had her birthday. Mere hours later, the witch baby had her birthday.
Okay.
Oh, and they also both got toys in the mail, which means they both will have imaginary friends.
Sims got weird. I know I said this last time that we were talking about this 20 minutes ago. It's fucking weird. Actually,
base game Sims is fairly vanilla an experience. What really makes it weird is the expansion packs.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Okay. The only thing I remember from Sims is playing the first one and just typing in, I think it was Rosebud, just so you get money.
Okay.
The family also has a pet unicorn.
I killed my dad playing The Sims.
I was going to say he means in-game, but then I remembered who I'm talking about, so I'm not entirely sure.
No, I mean...
Terrible person!
It was in the game. One of these days he was home alone, and there was no fire extinguisher in the house, and he couldn't cook, and there was no fire alarm or anything. We didn't have a phone to call the fucking fire department, so when he started a fire, the house burned down, and he burned down with it.
Oh. My mom actually played the original Sims. She made a husband and wife and named them Bob and Betty Shitheel. And right on her first day of work, Betty was cooking, started a fire, died.
Ah, The Sims.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most bizarre game series I've ever heard of and played and anything. Really puts it in perspective.
Oh, yes, and when she becomes a teenager, I'm going to make the witch baby a mermaid.
So, Blushweaver, hi. You're
Hi.
the podcast. Hi, how's it going? Save me.
Okay.
So, okay, new to the podcast. Patient recommended and invited you. Based on some of the stories you wrote, he recommended one on the podcast. I want to say 3 months ago, somewhere around then. It was.
I didn't realize he recommended it on here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was. Which one was it, Patient? I think Skip Beat. That was it. It was the Skip Beat story.
Skip Beat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what I write. I have one card captor, Sakura, that's not complete and needs to update really, really badly, but it's mostly Skip Beat. So there you go.
Fair play.
Am I the only one who thinks that Kyoko looked better before her makeover?
I think so. I don't know. She's had lots of makeovers, and they're lots of fun.
I mean, her first episode appearance. I think she looked at best then.
I have never heard anybody else say that. So
Huh,
you might
well.
be alone.
I've got weird
Sorry,
tastes.
Weasel.
I've got weird tastes.
Okay, but yeah, anyway, do I just kind of say what I've done for the week? And
Yeah, pretty much. Just what you've been doing.
Okay.
Fun stuff that you've seen, done, read, just about anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Okay.
feel like
maybe
talking
have
about.
it back.
Well, I'm very excited because I'm finally getting my power supply for the computer I'm building so I can stop playing on my crappy laptop and I can actually have a decent computer and download all my games on him and play it.
PC Master Race.
I'm very excited. No
PC
more
Master Race.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, pretty much. That's about it. Getting excited, getting more hours for my job. Pretty much. Goodness, I don't know.
How did you get
And
into
then I-
fanfiction?
How did I get into fan fiction?
Yeah.
My friends were talking about My Little Pony fan fiction. We actually played this My Little Pony game. It was, what was it? Like Twilight Sparkle shipping game. That's what it was. It was the Twilight Sparkle shipping game. And I'd never heard of any of this. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, I'm hearing all this terminology. It's so strange. And I had no idea what was going on. So I looked it up and then I got stuck. And then I started writing it. So that's kind of what happened.
Surprisingly common story, actually. Well, the My
To
Little Pony
just
one I'm
kinda-
not entirely sure of, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Slicer might have gotten into it that way. He's brony.
There you go. Yep. So that's
Slicer's a
that's,
brony?
Slicer?
One of the other people on the podcast, he's not on this week. He's actually messaged me saying, "Hey, can I drop out this week because stuff happened and I didn't get any sleep, so now I need some." So that's why he's not here.
Luca and I are actually both bronies as well.
I've seen like the first season of My Little Pony, and that's about it. I did not get hooked.
I'm consistently told it's very, very good.
Likewise.
Also, Slicer keeps trying to get me into, I think it's Fallout Equestria or something, which is a post-apocalyptic version of My Little Pony, and that's
It's
a
a
special
Fallout
concept, but
it's a Fallout My Little Pony crossover.
yeah.
Another question for Blushweaver. What else series are you into that you like reading fanfictions for, or writing fanfictions for?
Series? I love reading, well, obviously Skip Beat. What else do I read? I do like Hunter x Hunter, and if the author would post the new chapters.
It's
Do you mean reading the canon, or do you mean reading like fanfiction for it?
Fan fiction for it.
It's actually pronounced Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, no one
Hunter
cares.
Hunter? Oh, okay, sorry.
No one cares.
Some Yu-Gi-Oh! I am in love with the Abridged series. Oh my gosh. The
Yes.
guy is hilarious. Loved the Cell games that was going on. I'm kind of sad that's dumb. What else? Skip Beat. Oh, lots of the Miraculous Tales of Cat Noir and Ladybug, or Ladybug and Cat Noir. Even though it's like a children's, it's kind of like My Little Pony. It's probably for 10-year-olds, and I totally watch it. And 25-year-old watching series. It's great. And that's about it right now. Some Ruby.
Oh, you watch Ruby?
Yes, absolutely love it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
I'm kind of a fan. I mean, not to the ridiculous degree of maybe writing fan fiction for it and possibly having a video series on it on this very channel that people are watching videos on. But you know, I'm a little bit of a fan.
Blatant lies.
I'm a little bit of a fan. Just, like, trying to keep it on the down low.
To get Flux talking, I see you just have to start talking about Ruby and the possibility of what Jean's semblance is and what they thought about Nora and Ren flashbacks.
Yeah. Of course.
Or Mass Effect.
Or Mass Effect.
Don't.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
That's
is
about
that
it.
pretty much it?
Yep, that's it.
I'm at a loss as to what I should be calling you because Weaver seems the most natural, but then we also have Weasel.
Hi. Hey,
I
just call
will
me
respond.
Cyber.
Yeah, you can do that.
That has connotations, but okay, who cares?
And do you honestly think those connotations aren't well founded?
That's a very good point, actually. He makes a very good. She makes a very good point. Okay, so I guess we're moving on to the random for this week, which was god.
I watched it.
You watched it while we were doing this?
Yes.
Okay, good man. Okay, so Ring ni Kakero. So from what Zero told me last week when we picked this anime, this is like one of the most popular manga in history or something. Ran in the 70s, and they made an anime adaptation in the early 2000s and kept it going until 2011 when it finished. This...
well, the pompadour makes sense now if this was from the 70s.
Yeah, the two main characters have the exact same hairstyle, and it messes with me because I'm face blind. And I usually use hair to identify people.
Well, I'm back.
I spoke.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
Tater.
We're doing the anime.
Cool.
See, I'm face blind, and I usually use hair to identify people. And the two main characters have the exact same hairstyle.
Face blind.
What?
Face blind.
I am. Look it up.
I'm going to. This is a thing. Face blind.
Yeah, that's a thing. I've got issues with facial recognition as well. I actually tend to remember people based on their hairstyle instead of their face.
I
guess I technically have that too, but that's mostly because my eyes are shit. So I guess.
It's actually a thing.
Intriguing.
I'll what's this?
It's actually very common with Asperger's.
Prosopagnosia. Okay.
Oh, I learned something today.
I know, look at that.
I learned a couple things. I've learned about that, and I also learned that this anime is stupid. Like,
I'm glad I'm not the only one that was thinking that.
okay,
Oh
so
dear.
literally the first 30 seconds of this show is it opens on a church, and there's a woman, and she's in a wedding dress, and there's a priest, and he's like, "The groom isn't here yet," and she's like, "No, he's fighting in a boxing match with my brother."
That's stupid.
So, in the first 30 seconds, it asks a lot of questions. It makes me ask a lot of questions, is rather to say. One, who planned this wedding exactly? Because apparently they planned the wedding to be on the same day as a championship match between the groom and someone that I very much assume had to be in the wedding party. So two of the most important people in the wedding are very, very definitely not going to be there.
And if they are going to be there, they're going to be heavily injured.
This is a special kind of stupid.
Casey, the fighting spirit is too strong. It supersedes even love.
And common sense, and planning, and basic lot. Yeah.
Basic human decency.
Being red-blooded and youthful is the most important thing, and to fight is the greatest expression of this.
Full power of youth.
Irritation in you.
Okay, so
Full power of youth.
I have to assume that 30-second shot of the wedding and stuff is a flash forward, and we go back to a period that is the start of the story, but is also apparently a championship match between the champion and challenger of a middle school boxing tournament.
Yeah.
That was...
A surprisingly popular middle school tournament.
Lampshaded, in fact.
That doesn't excuse it, but yeah, it was. Yeah, so there are tens of thousands of people watching this middle school boxing tournament. And we get shots of the champion with a workout machine doing the stretchy thing with the arms. I don't know what it's called. Ken, what's it called?
This thing, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's fictional.
We'll call it the Go-Go Machine. He's on the Go-Go Machine. And then there's the Challenger, who is in the locker room talking to his sister, and the, protagonist and supporting character, respectively. That's basically their roles. And we get the intros, and everyone's super hyped for this middle school boxing final. I'm not going to get over that at any point during this recap. And we get the best cheer I've ever heard in the history of me watching anime. Is such good. I love English so much. It's great. It's wonderful and does not grate on my eardrums like someone is driving nails into them.
At one point, the cheerleaders even say, "He is a beautiful."
Yeah, he is a beautiful. I can't. Okay, so...
I don't understand the cheerleaders. In Japanese anime. None of them.
Yeah, it's...
You know what's probably the one sports manga I wish would get an anime?
What's that?
It's about a male cheerleader, which is not a thing in Japan like it is in America. So he is Japan's first male cheerleader.
It's barely a thing in America as far as I'm aware, but yeah.
Yeah.
True, but compared to America, it's not even a thing in Japan.
Yeah, so there's the cheering squad. Then we get the matches happening, and the little sister is the coach for the Challenger.
Isn't she his older sister?
I don't know. I don't particularly care.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
doesn't matter.
And the champion's there, and he's a dude, and they're in shirts because it is an amateur tournament, but they're not wearing face gear, even though you're supposed to in an amateur tournament.
Also, they can talk. They can telepathically talk to each other.
They don't telepathically talk to each other. They actually talk to each other in the middle of the match, which is a special kind of fun. Hajime no Ippo has really spoiled me for this show. I could not enjoy this if I wanted to at this point. But so the match starts, and Challenger is anecdotally he's really good at jabbing with his left. If you control the left, you control the world, and stuff like that, and other such boxing sayings. And it's all wasted energy because, he's blocking all of them, which is not true at all, but, we'll put that to the side.
Says he's blocking all of them while it shows him getting in several hits.
Yeah, not to mention that, but in the middle of this, we get flashbacks to where I assume the story actually starts, but it doesn't. It starts as very, very in the middle of this story. With the history of these two and why we should care about the fight that they're having, even though we don't. And how the champion was a douche and stole his dad's boxing gloves. And
he didn't steal them. He paid for them, actually. He took them and then threw money at him for them.
Which...
Not still quite stealing.
That's still stealing if he doesn't want to actually sell them.
Yeah, that's not... That doesn't, just because he threw money at him and took his gloves does not mean they were purchased. That's not how buying things work.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, so there's that
money
flashback.
In exchange for goods. It's not take the goods and then throw the money at the guy.
So we have that flashback.
The point is he paid for the theft.
Then we have another flashback of... So their dad was a boxer, and he died.
Oh, here we go.
Sad. And then, for some reason, and I say for some reason because they never explain it, the two kids decide, we're going to run away from home so that the older sister can turn the younger brother into a boxer. And we get a scene of them leaving on a train, screaming at their mom, saying, we're gonna be great, and we're gonna make him a boxer, and it's gonna be amazing. And there's come back! What the hell are you doing? Says the mom. And How am I supposed to be on their side in this? Why can't you be a boxer at home? Literally, what is stopping you?
Question. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Boxing.
The
That
fight
is
comes
not
first.
a good answer.
The fight comes first, brah. Don't you know? It's about the journey. Even
That
when the
is
journey
not
makes
a
little to
sufficient
no
answer.
sense. Even when the journey makes little to no sense, at least it happened, apparently.
Full power of youth.
So, after those completely understandable flashbacks that clarify the entire main thrust of this story,
Thrust, like a dagger, straight into the gut.
or the brain.
Or a... No.
So, we get back to the match, and Challenger has tired himself out, so he can't do the jabby jab anymore. So the champion decides, I'm going to take this moment to gloat.
That's not how jabbing works. You
It-
don't
it's
tire
really not.
yourself out.
It's literally
jabbing.
the punch that is meant not to tire you out, so you can just kind of...
And it was the first goddamn round,
Yeah,
especially.
that too.
Fuck this anime.
Yeah. I mean, like...
It's like critical research failure. He doesn't know any... Did he research boxing at all?
I'm assuming the answer is no.
No, probably not. Like, to compare this and Hajime no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo, you can tell very well. Technically, it's called Fighting Spirit, but still, you can tell how much research went into all of it. But here, it's practically a battle anime, manga, whatever, before that term was even invented, because I'm pretty sure this came out before Dragon Ball.
You said it earlier, or when this is like the Prince of Tennis of boxing.
Yeah. So, champion gloats and says, you shit, and you shit, and that's pretty much all he says, but he talks for like 20 seconds in the middle of a boxing match. And then he punches him once with a very telegraphed, I think it was like an uppercut or something, or a kidney shot, something like I forget which punch he actually used.
Blinding white light.
Yeah, because battle anime. And that's pretty much the end of the round. And Challenger is a little injured. Champion is exhausted. And we find out between rounds that he's exhausted because of overwork, basically. They pretty it up with different terminology, but it's literally just overwork. He trained too hard and screwed himself up.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
It does happen, though.
It happens, but it doesn't make it
That
less
doesn't
stupid.
make it less stupid.
I mean, it's stupid because this is the first fight of the series.
This is the first fight of the series that is somehow trying to be built up in the middle of the episode where the climax happens. Well, it doesn't happen. It happens in the next episode, but... And they're trying to build it all up and everything, and this would be, like, a climactic moment of the champion's hubris and stuff, and him trying to prove that he's better and everything, and it would have been not great, because it's basically giving the challenger a handicap, but it would have been interesting, we'll say. But because they didn't do any of that, it just seems stupid.
They're giving us the ending climax in the first episode. Why did they think that was a good idea?
Because there's more after that, technically. But, yeah. They could have started it a few episodes earlier. I mean, I'm not going to bring up Hajime no Ippo again, because that's cheating. Because it came way after this. It came way after this, so that's not fair. But, you know, they could have actually given it a couple of episodes and let him fight, you know, and
It could
do
have
all of
used
that
some build-up.
backstory flashbacks. Could have done all that stuff actually as, you know, chronological story order instead. But
It could have used some build-up.
yeah, it just didn't bother, or chose not to. I should have looked at the manga to see what it flows like there
Could
story
not
wise.
be worse. Basically, what you're saying.
Yeah. Still, so the champion is overworked, so he's brittle and not so great, and then we get The second round, where the challenger does basically jab straight as a pattern over and over and over again in the most obvious possible way, to the point where the champion picks it up almost immediately and does a counterpunch, and that's basically, he's down in one hit.
So you're basically comparing this to Hajime no Ippo without directly comparing it to Hajime no Ippo.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, it's almost... Yeah, okay. So, that happens, and the challenger gets knocked down.
Casey, your struggle is amusing to me.
He has an internal monologue of, hey, you suck, we've already failed because your knees are on the ground. In his head, apparently. And that means you lose in boxing. Which, while technically true, he's actually lying flat out because he's been knocked down properly in real world. So the fact that he's on his knees in his dreamscape is a little odd. Like, if you're lying flat on your back, that also means you lose. So why didn't they just have him lying on his back in the dreamscape?
He was having a coma fantasy.
Yeah. And then it's like everyone's doing the get up, you're going through the 10 count, you need to get up, and guess what, on the 9 count, he gets up.
Because, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm actually glad that I don't usually watch these. It seems like it'd be kind of depressing how shit most of them are.
This one, really? Okay.
You guys never seem to select a good anime.
That, we do, actually. There have been several. That was the end of the episode. Final thoughts from me. I'm just gonna get this out. This was terrible, and there have been a lot better boxing anime. I think it was Hikaru no Joe. I think is another one that is supposed to be really, really good. And obviously, Fighting Spirit or Hajime no Ippo, whichever you want to call it, also really, really good.
What was that other one you mentioned?
Hikaru no Joe, I think it was called.
Hikaru no Go is a manga about a guy playing a board game.
I'll have to look at it. Was something similar to that, and it's a boxing anime.
Hikaru no Go. Yeah, that's about appropriately the game Go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So I must have. I'll look it up and put it in the link dump for the one I'm actually thinking of. But
hey, for the umpteenth time, Hajime no Ippo is better.
Yes, it is. Because, one, it does the research. Two, it actually establishes everything, including where the guy gets his start, and even to the point of teaching him how to make a fist and punch properly.
In other news, birds fly, fish swim. Hajime no Ippo is a good boxing anime.
Yeah.
And water is wet. No? Okay. Then.
So why was this the most popular thing ever?
Because people were young and stupid.
Because nothing better had come out.
Thank you, Blush.
Sad face. Okay. So...
Hashtag sad times.
This wasn't very good. It was incredibly over the top and, oh god, the melodrama. Wow. Like, it was baffling on every level.
It was like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure without the self-awareness.
Everything just came at you and gave you no. And even if it was decent content, everything came at you so fast it gave you no time to digest any part of what was happening, or what had happened, or what this was.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
anything else to say about this before Patient has us move on?
It's shit.
Okay. Thanks, Weasel.
An accurate summation, De Beers.
I mean, I would have tolerated it a lot more if it wasn't such absolute basic stuff as far as the boxing is concerned. Because it was literally jabs, one hook, and then one counterpunch. That was literally it. It didn't even seem like there was any skill involved. It was just, that's it.
I didn't know Hachime no Ippo translated to fighting spirit.
It doesn't. It translates to the first step.
First step. Oh.
Yeah, they changed the name for the anime. Well, I say that. I think they changed the name for the anime and then appropriated the name for the manga because it was popular, I think. But I might be mistaken. I don't know the full story.
I'll take a look. Meanwhile, Kenshi is here this week.
Indeed. Alrighty then. It's time.
Okay, Kenshi gets to do the rolling because I can't open my browser at the moment, basically.
Okay, here we go. And random number generator says 15.
15, that's O, right?
Yep, that's O.
Okay.
Okay.
I expected that from Weasel, Casey.
Doesn't make it less funny.
48.
True.
Now you know what I feel, Casey.
One person would not reduce the humor value below 0.
One
Casey,
Punch Man.
now you know how I feel all the time.
One Punch Man.
Feels good, doesn't
One
it?
Punch Man. One Punch Man. One Punch Man.
What's the
One
count?
Punch Man.
I said 48, Kenshi.
Oh.
Okie doke. One Punch Man. One Punch Man. One Punch Man. 25.
25, sorry.
It's around
One Punch Man is number 12. The winner is... Oh dear. Ooya-san wa Shishunki. Translation, the landlord is in puberty.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Is that a porno?
No.
Oh, I really hope not.
What's it called? I don't know how to find it.
Oh,
Probably
God, I hope that's not a hentai.
It's not.
Okay, so it was Oya something.
Ooya-san wa Shishunki.
I think that's cheating having two O's, but that's actually a thing in Japanese.
Yeah.
Oya-san wa Shishunki.
It has a Wikipedia article.
Alright, so, plot summary from Go-Go Anime is the story follows a boy who has gained an independent life. After moving into his rented apartment, he meets his landlord. The landlord has the physique of a little girl, and she does the cooking and housework while attending middle school with her friends. That doesn't... No, that's just comedy and slice of life, so it's...
Yeah, that
probably
doesn't sound
tame.
too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck. Misleading title for the win.
Well, it's not really misleading. It's exactly what it says it is. It's just not perverted in any way.
They'll find some way to make it perverted because
I'll
Japan.
say it doesn't indicate that it's perverted in any way. It remains to be seen. But
It's a little girl. It's Japan. Put two and two together.
hey, there was that kids anime with the god toy things. That wasn't perverted in any way.
There is probably going to be at least some level of cheesecake in this.
I hope not.
Yep.
Let me dream. Let me dream.
No, I'm sorry. I can't allow you to do that in good conscience.
I'm sorry, Casey. You must live in reality with the rest of us.
No.
Okay, so, is anyone going to veto this? It personally doesn't seem all that bad to me.
No. I'm willing to roll the dice and see whether this is actually terrible.
I will give it a chance.
I'm good. I'll just go with it.
See how it goes.
Shishunki. Yep. Need to make notes for the link though. Alright. So that's the anime done for the week.
Thank fuck.
Yeah. That. What he said. So moving on to the topics that we have for this week, since we actually have topics that we're actually going to get through. Yay. How long have we been going? About an hour?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, I think we got time for one at least, so we'll do one. So, appropriately enough, the first topic that we came up with, Weasel basically just said, hey, that thing that the anime does a lot, we should probably do that as an actual topic. So, Melodrama. Ugh.
Kill it with fire.
I would just like to let's not ignore the fact that every single fight in Naruto is basically my angsty backstory has a bigger dick than your angsty backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, I had to Google this to make sure I'm not like,
Misrepresenting.
Misrepresenting it. That's the best word for it. Thank you. So, a sensational dramatic piece with exaggerated characters and exciting events intended to appeal to the emotions. So, anime, basically. Like, literally all of it.
So there's a ton of anime that is really popular that has a ton of melodrama. Dragon Ball Z is obviously an example, as is One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh! They're all melodramatic and they're all really popular, so it can be done right.
Obviously, yes. Sorry, that was...
But I thought the definition of melodrama was basically we care more about this random story happening than you actually getting to know the people that it's about.
I'd say that's more of the mimetic definition.
Yeah, melodrama in general is more or less just an emphasis on the emotionality of the scene or the event.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Death Note, kind of. Though Death Note is kind of on the bad end of melodrama, in my opinion.
It's to be fair,
Yaoi.
it's probably not intentional, but it is on the silly end of melodrama, and that actually...
I'll take this potato chip and eat it.
Yeah, it's on the silly end of melodrama.
Okay,
but that gives it a charm of a different sort. It's not necessarily good, but it's fun.
In Death Note's defense, yaoi.
What?
That's not really...
It's not really a defense. That's just it caused this other thing to happen.
It's a defense to me.
That, in absolute fairness, happens in literally anything that exists.
Yeah.
Let me dream!
About yaoi?
Yes.
Alright.
Whatever works. Yeah, so this is used... Yeah, it goes without saying. This is used a lot in anime, in just about every genre.
One Piece
Everything is the best or worst thing to ever happen to everyone.
One Piece is effectively Dead Relatives, the anime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't mean it's not awesome. It's still very good, but pretty much every backstory is Dead Relatives, the backstory.
Which is true, but melodrama isn't necessarily about the content of what's happening, but how people react to what's happening. It's over the top. It's excessive reactions to things that go on. And Dead Relatives... It's hard for me to imagine going over the top for that, in terms of how you react to it. Like, oh, it's a terrible thing that's happening. Like, Nami gets... Her mom gets shot in the face in front of her.
I hear she got shot in the chest.
I'm pretty sure the gun was pointed really high. But,
No, Arlong is just very, very tall.
Okay, whatever. It's not especially important, but she gets shot in front of Nami, and she reacts very poorly to this for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think it's understandable.
It's hard for me to call it excessive or melodramatic. Really, really, really bad thing happened. You react to it really, really badly. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fairly sensible thing, yes.
On the other hand, we have... I really don't like using this particular movie as an example, but I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it. So, the Bring Out Your Dead scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Not dead.
I gotta say, I think that scene is actually much funnier in the music.
There's a musical.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I've actually been trying to convince one of the local directors to put on a production for a few years, but she doesn't want to spring for the cost.
Oh, that's a shame.
Cheapskate.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the melodrama isn't. Well, no, I'm not sure where the melodrama is in that scene, to be honest.
It is a focus on emotion, albeit highly farcical emotion.
Whose emotion?
Your mama's.
Okay, thanks, Weasel.
I'm sorry.
Where was I? I suppose that was a bad example. I was just comparing and contrasting the different reactions. Basically, I was thinking being overly dramatic to their relative that had died that wasn't actually dead is what I was getting at.
Oh, right, that's a little confusing. Like,
Okay.
if you want examples of actual melodrama, then we could just go back to One Piece again and just say, hey, anytime Sanji is love-struck from anything.
Oh, God.
Primarily women.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but to be fair, literally any woman,
And
with a few notable exceptions.
Not the gonks.
So I guess the question is, why does the melodrama work in that anime but not in the anime we just watched? Why was it absolutely horrible? Besides the fact
Dota.
that, because Dota,
because
the fact that Hajime no Ippo is better.
Because that was 20 minutes of just straight melodrama.
Yeah, and it was meaningless melodrama is probably
I
the
think
problem.
based on the descriptions, I think it might have gone a little bit into Narm factor.
Yes.
You just need balance, is what you need.
If everything is the most important thing ever, then nothing is important.
Like, One Piece balances out the melodrama really well with comedy, is the thing.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the melodrama in One Piece is comedy. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
yeah, I thought you meant like just
One Piece
generally
has
just
variety.
melodrama. Yeah.
One Piece keeps it fresh by having variety.
Whereas this execrable thing that you people watch is apparently all angst all the time.
Yeah, that's not great.
I mean, it opened like, this is the biggest, most important fight ever. There are thousands of people here for this. This is the first episode.
Yeah.
It's hard to go somewhere when you start at the top, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're going down.
Unless you're going down, and then that's a completely different story.
But they're not, because there's a sequel story. There's a sequel to this anime.
There's 4 seasons of this anime.
What?
Yeah,
There's 4 seasons of
I
this
imagine it
anime.
starts in the middle school and then it moves on to actual. Like, one of the episodes is titled "Goes to the World," so I'm assuming it goes to actual professional boxing at some point.
I'm not sure about that, because at the start of the second season, it's like they're still in middle school. They're just fighting middle schools from all over the world.
That's dumb.
What is with Japan's obsession with kids?
My recommendation in regards to that anime, let us never speak of this again.
But we're going.
It's a really good bad
Agreed.
example, though. That's the thing.
It's a fantastically bad example.
As you say, then.
So, yeah, I mean, melodrama has its place. I'd say most of the time it has its place in comedy more than anything else. I mean, it can be really hard to take melodrama seriously for serious things, at least in my opinion.
Unless it's Shakespeare. No, even then. Especially now.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing to take seriously, so
Yeah.
when
So
something is serious enough to use that,
So it either needs to be justified or played for laughs, essentially.
And
yeah,
have something
kind of.
good leading up to it, like a good lead up to the melodrama.
Yeah, I mean, giving us the perspective needed to make it seem like it is the best/worst thing ever to happen in existence. Like a good romance story. You draw the reader in, or the audience, whatever. You draw them in to the story. You get them to feel for the characters. So when, say, for example, a relationship ends and it's all terrible and it goes down goes down in flames, then when the melodramatic reaction happens and the person falls to their knees, wailing in the street, tears streaming down their face, like their entire family just died, their hometown was just obliterated, I don't know, their dog was kicked in the face, I don't know. When they are at their lowest moment, depicting this in the most grandiose emotions possible, then maybe it's possible to feel that and empathize with that.
But then I don't know about you guys, but I've read plenty of fan fiction where that is not the case, where you read about a breakup and they're just so sad they lock themselves in the room and they're just drinking like crazy and they don't talk to anyone, and you're sitting there as the reader going, oh my gosh, stop, put on your big boy panties and get out there and go back to life.
Because it hasn't been set up properly. You don't feel for the character because you haven't gotten invested in the character yet. This is something we talked about in previous episode.
Oh, cool.
So because you're not properly invested in the character, you can't... It seems silly because you don't empathize with them in the slightest. So when the reaction is a bit more than is probably necessary, you can't get the emotions behind it at all.
For an example, the Hunter exam in Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to call it Hunter x Hunter.
Later.
It came very early in that series. But in the time it took to get to the exam, it was established why this is important. Everyone that was followed in the story, they had reasons for being a hunter. And it was explained, being a hunter will allow you to do this. This is what being a hunter means. In the few chapters before we actually got to the hunter exam, you understood why this was a big deal.
Yeah. It explains. It is basically a free pass to do just about anything. So it is very desirable for everyone involved. Everyone wants to go for it. And you understand why people go to ridiculous lengths to get there. You understand why people are absolutely heartbroken and devastated when they fail.
Instead of, hey, there's this tournament happening tonight. School students are in it? Cool. Let's go watch it. Is basically what you just saw.
Oh, God, we didn't even talk about the part where the audience couldn't follow the punches.
Yes.
Of a middle school boxing tournament. God!
Middle school boxing. I missed that. I thought these guys were high schoolers.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Wait, how was he attending middle school if he ran away from home?
I don't... It didn't like
I have an answer for that, actually. I have a plausible answer for that. This anime is shit.
Yeah, that is the most accurate thing anyone has said about this show since we even talked about it. So, melodrama. It needs setup. It needs setup, or it needs comedy, or it's going to look stupid. Is basically the conclusion we seem to have come to.
Fantastic summary.
Oh, God.
Who trained him?
Are you okay?
Like his sister didn't train him, right? Like,
but she has the eye for boxing, apparently, whatever that is.
They didn't explain.
That doesn't mean anything. Who trained him? Who did he spar with? Where'd they get their equipment? These are questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, they don't have a mother to take care of them. Where are they going to get the money to train and get equipment?
Did they enroll in school and join a boxing club? How did they enroll in school without a parent involved? Anytime you try and answer a question, you just come up with more questions. So we should just move on.
The
Again.
answer to your question is that this is shit.
So shit.
So melodrama. I think we can put a pin in that one.
I think we should do that so we can get further away from the topic before this one, which was that anime.
Incidentally, what we're experiencing right now is called melodrama because we're overly emotional about how shit that anime was, but we're playing it for laughs. Get
Casey.
Yeah?
Is this going to be your new Berserk button alongside Mass Effect?
God, no.
No. Not close, not nearly close enough.
No. Not even close enough. So, I think maybe we could pull off another topic in the time we have. So, villain decay.
Can you summarize what that is for me? I have a theory, but I'd like
Villain
to
starts out highly threatening and becomes a joke over time.
Yeah, it's Eggman.
Well,
Or
can't think of
Republic, it's
any.
supposed to be called.
Well, I can't think of any actual examples of that.
I have an easy one. In Pokemon, in the first time you see Team Rocket, they're threatening. Next episode, they're really not.
They were never threatening.
They were actually fairly threatening at the beginning.
They blew up the Pokemon Center in Viridian City.
Except locked that shit out.
And basically any magical girl anime with a antagonist, they start out with one really big bad guy, which then becomes a joke. Then you get another bad guy, becomes another joke. Then you get another bad guy like Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon's constantly fluctuating menagerie of baddies.
Yep.
I don't know about that one, because Sailor Moon usually kills their...
Oh dear. I actually did not watch a lot of Sailor Moon, so I was just hoping that it worked, and apparently it didn't. Whoops.
I would say probably the biggest villain decay I can think of is Orochimaru in Naruto, who goes from a village-destroying threat who takes down the third Hokage to Sasuke and
A tumor.
in less than a chapter.
And a tumor.
And then he becomes a tumor, yes.
I'm a tumor.
Actually, there's a bit more of a scale to it than that. He goes from, village destroying, Hokage killing, and all that stuff, to terminally ill patient, to a tumor. That's your scale. So, yeah, bit of a decay there.
Excuse me?
Sorry?
Did you say something about me?
No?
No?
Did I accidentally say patient at some point and make a bad joke by accident?
No,
Okay, just checking.
I'm listening.
Yeah, you did. Terminally ill patient.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh! Oh, God.
Right then. I need to get to class anyway. Goodbye, everyone.
I'm glad you feel happy with yourself.
I'm dying again.
Seriously, I do need to get to class. Goodbye.
Okay, have fun, patient.
Bye, patient.
See you, patient.
And that was the last thing he heard from us before he left.
Okay. What were we talking about?
I need peanut butter.
Okay.
Alright, villain decay. Orochimaru was kind of rubbish over time, and then apparently they made him a villain again in the sequel. Whatever.
When will he die?
Because
Never.
he's made contingency plans to not die.
That is his thing.
Basically, yeah. He is
And he
basically
actually has, in theory at least, a highly sympathetic reason for wanting to be immortal. It's just that he goes about achieving that in the most amoral and stupid way possible.
Why does
think
he?
that he wanted to learn everything?
No, he wanted to live long enough to see his parents reincarnate.
What?
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. Like, the entire reason he got obsessed with immortality was a conversation he had with the third Hokage about his parents at their grave. It's sad.
Good job.
Oh, hey, melodrama.
Yeah. Naruto's weird.
Okay, I got another one.
Hmm.
Valmont from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh yeah, he went from the villain of season 1 to a hobo.
Yep, pretty much.
I love Valmont.
I loved Jackie Chan Adventures. That was a shit when I was a kid.
That was great childhood right there.
Yeah, we watched that on random.
My twin brother even made like paper talismans, like 3D paper folded talismans, so we could act out stuff, the powers. He was an art kid.
You said we don't get any good anime. We had Jackie Chan Adventures. We had Persona at one point. The Persona 4 animation.
Jackie Chan Adventures wasn't an anime.
It's on the list.
It was on the list, so we watched it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's very loose about the definition of anime on a Go-Go Anime. So
Careful, you're Trigger Tater.
Ruby's on there. Batman's on there.
Oh, you're Trigger Tater. Careful. He will be triggered.
Okay. I'm annoyed right now for 2 reasons. First, that list is misusing the term anime, and second, you, Weasel, are misusing the term triggered.
Tater and I disagree on the definition of anime, so I tease him for that.
Literally means animation. That's literally what it means.
And Tater believes it has to be made in Japan to be considered an anime, no exceptions.
You could make the argument that anime is a style, in which case Ruby is anime because it uses the anime style.
And Tater would disagree with that.
Batman, however, would not be because it uses a distinctly Western style.
I should, however, point out Tater is not racist. He believes that anime can be made by non-Japanese so long as they are in Japan.
I'd call that an overly reductive definition. Like, anime as a style is distinct enough that you can call it its own style, and anyone can make it.
That's what I believe. It's
just saying it's only Japan is reductive and unnecessarily limiting.
So I'm going to name 3 things which are unquestionably anime, and I would like you to tell me the stylistic commonalities between them. Dragon Ball Z, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the OVA of Hellsing.
Muscled Men.
Tell me what common stylistic, other than the coloration style, which is fairly similar between all 3 of those.
The general art style that is vaguely cribbed from Disney, with the large eyes and all that other features. The fact that they skimp on the budget in terms of conversation, so animation is very still when conversations are happening so as to save money so that they can use the animation on other stuff.
Which again doesn't happen in Hellsing.
For me, it's not so much a style of art. I consider anime more a style of storytelling.
I
know, controversial. I'll shut up.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to think about it. I'd have to think about that more to say whether I agree or disagree. This is very, very off topic. That happens, by the way, Blushweaver. A lot. Like, a lot. What were we talking? Villain decay is the actual topic that we're supposed to be talking about.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good thing, really. Like, you don't want to use the same villain over and over and over again to the point that they become stale.
And it shows that the protagonist is growing as well.
Yeah.
Would a heel face turn be considered villain decay?
No. It's not changing sides, it's
decreasing in importance and significance.
Kind of. It's not in importance or significance, but in threat. Like, God, what's the name? The Rurouni Kenshin, the villain who's he uses the technique that creates a cutting vacuum edge around his sword.
What's his name?
Ryuta. Yeah, he's a guy who can cleave through rock and stone using a training boken.
Oh,
Because he just swings the sword that fast. He's set up as a massive threat. He deals severe damage to one of the child characters, and he ends up being defeated in a single blow and completely psychologically broken because he's a massive coward and a fake who's never actually taken anyone's life.
Well, that's anticlimactic.
Yeah. The worst part of it is he was set up as a villainous foil for the main character.
I could have sworn Batasa the Manslayer was a villain.
No?
Yes, but Kenshin is not.
He's his own foil.
There's a lot of psychological melodrama made about the mental division between Himura Kenshin and Hitokiri Batosai. It's actually a major focus of the last 2 arcs in the series.
I'm not entirely sure if it could be considered villain decay or if it's a heel face turn, because technically he never actually switched sides. He's on his own side. I'm not sure if anyone else is. I'm not sure if anyone else here has seen a certain magical index, but Accelerator.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
That with the cane, yeah.
No. In my defense, I have not seen it either. I only know from word of mouth.
I feel like I'm right on that because someone aped the style of the character for a story that I read, and he mentioned the character.
I
don't
mean,
know.
technically he didn't have a heel face turn. He's not on anyone's side except his own.
Okay, let's try and find a common example and just, dissect a little bit, shall we?
Frieza?
Frieza's pretty solid. That's a very good shout. It's Frieza. We'll ignore Resurrection F because it's stupid.
Or Cooler?
The character, or are you saying it's cooler?
No, Cooler. The character.
Okay.
I mean, Frieza's villain decay was quick. He was killed, and we're not going to talk about GT. That's just not a thing we're going to have a conversation about.
GT, T.
Technically, go with Zuko from whatever it's called. Wow,
Avatar?
That was more of a very long heel face turn.
Yeah, that's not
true.
really.
Never mind.
I don't know. I'm actually with you on this one, Blushweaver. That was definitely villain decay because he was super, super important for about 10 episodes.
Yeah, half season.
Yeah. And then it was Commander Zhao, and then it was Azula. And
yeah, but
Zuko played second fiddle to both of those.
But he was still was a threat.
That's not really villain decay. It's not decreasing in threat, it's just decreasing in direct importance to the plot. He's still shown to be a powerful and threatening individual through the end of the series. It's just that it's a gradual face heel turn and demoted to background extra for a large portion of it.
Still maintains his threat level all throughout the series.
Like, Frieza goes from a world-ending threat to a Hercule-level scrub. That's villain decay, but... Oh.
Nice.
Hello?
He's getting a call.
I don't know why I expected anything different. I got a call from number 000000000. I don't know why I expected anything other than a telemarketer.
You got a call from Alexander Graham Bell?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, it's such a lame joke, but it's so funny.
I feel bad now.
And if you are actually accurate, because his phone number was 1.
Yeah, it was.
So, no, I got a call from a bot dialing service that uses one of those programs that lets you disguise your number, and they forgot to put a number in.
Yeah, I don't answer calls from any number I don't know.
The problem is I deal with a lot of people in performances that I'm with that I don't have in my contacts list, because if I did, I would have 4 different people named Alex, 3 of them being Alex J.
Yeah. I know a lot of John D's. D is in the initial, so
Big D.
And unfortunately,
okay, one of them is my stepdad, so I'd rather not call him that. Thank you very much.
Casey, when I do a joke like that, you should really just ignore me.
it's what we all do.
I was building building the joke.
It's just better not to acknowledge my bad jokes.
I had an idea of every time you make a bad joke and everyone's just dead silent of adding crickets, but that would be way too much work.
If it happened once or twice an episode, that would be funny. But that would get overplayed like probably 20 minutes?
Yeah. So I guess we
I embrace my badness.
We just kind of drifted off the topic of villain decay a little bit.
We were just talking about how Zuko, while he does lose importance, still maintains his threat level throughout the series, which means he's not a villain decay. He's just a very gradual face heel turn.
Yeah.
The context for the character changes, but he doesn't really decay in terms of villainy in any particular way.
Yeah, it's like Weasel said, it's more like a very gradual face heel turn.
You could argue the point, like, even so, like, when the heel face turn could have happened at the end of season 2 and it doesn't, he's important there for a second and then he is not important anymore.
Well, yeah, but important and threatening.
He's not as threatening either.
But he sent Combustion Man after them.
Anyway,
Actually shows he's threatening even when he's not present.
I think we probably should have prepared for talking about this topic a little bit more than we did, which it's a thing we can do now that we're actually going to do the topics, because I'll be doing that. We set what they are in advance. But, you know.
The closest example we got was Team Rocket, because in that first episode they were threatening, and then they were joked through the rest of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Meowth's cool, though. I like Meowth.
You like Meowth?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Meowth's cool.
Yeah.
Meowth is not cool.
He's cool. I love Meowth.
What's cool about him?
Why are we ignoring the fact that these grown people are stalking a child?
For his valuable, quote-unquote, valuable Pikachu.
Which is not. Pikachu are shit-tier Pokemon.
There's actually more than a few webcomics that lampshade this.
Have you ever actually tried to make a competitive Pikachu? Its defense is shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a sweeper. That's the thing. Most of Ash's Pokemon are actually sweepers, and that's why he's a shit trainer. I know way too much about competitive battling.
We've done this. We've done this too much. This too much.
Yeah, no kidding. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, once again, check out the Let's Play of Pokemon Blaze Black 2 on the channel that we did in Nuzlocke Round 4, which was
see how horrible we are.
Yeah, that was...
See what terrible things happen to us out of happenstance of a broken game.
But yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, the Pikachu thing actually makes kind of... He got struck by lightning and that supercharged him somehow. And then they went through the training thing on the water wheel, which, if you actually look, like... I don't know if anyone remembers this, but the episode for Brock's gym, where they meet Brock's dad, who's, like, living in the same town.
Oh, and he's trying to sell the rocks?
Yeah, he's trying to sell rocks, yeah. And he helps Ash train his Pikachu by hooking it up to a generator that is powered by a water wheel that Ash is walking on to turn it. And it actually looks like torture. Like, it actually looks kind of hardcore. They're basically just like... I mean, I know it's a Pikachu and electric is fine, but it's still basically electroshock therapy. It's kind of messed up.
Here we go. I found the comic. It's a VG Cats thing.
Oh, he's gonna link it. Okay. It's kind of having trouble actually. There we go. Open original. There's the thing. I'm gonna have to link this, aren't I?
Do you really?
Probably, kind of. I guess I don't know.
Who left? I heard things.
Kenshi heard things. Everyone stop. Kenshi heard things. It was Weasel. Weasel dropped out for some reason. He's offline, so I'm assuming his connection died. Anyway.
Oh shit, that happens, doesn't it?
I think we should probably wrap up now, because this conversation on Villain Decay has basically gone nowhere.
This conversation on Villain Decay has decayed.
You could say, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, like I said,
I'm sorry. I'll go. I'm sorry.
Recommendations before we're done.
Yes. A Grudge Not Held, Bleach fanfiction. For one of a nail thick, it takes the premise of Genichimaru never having the push into becoming Aizen's subordinate, and does a really nice butterfly effect fic from there. It's actually really interesting. I've just about reached the end of it. Just found this last night.
Cool.
Nice.
Standing.
Anyone else?
You should all watch Into the Badlands.
Okay. I don't know what that is, so tell us.
Okay, so basically, somehow, some way, the world ended and started over again. And basically, they're like these barons that, they're basically the equivalent of feudal lords. They, in exchange for the work of the common folk, offer them protection through the forms of armies that only know martial arts and such because guns are outlawed, because a post-apocalyptic future.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's this main character named Sunny, who is a clipper, who is basically one of these trained killers for one of these baron dudes. And he does not want to be a clipper anymore because his girlfriend's pregnant, and as a clipper, for this one baron, he cannot have kids. And he wants to get the hell out of the Badlands. And then there's this one kid from this far-off land, apparently, or has a connection to a far-off land that's away from the Badlands. And he has weird, freaky-deaky powers that turn him into a force of nature when he's cut and bleeds. And he's the key to helping him get out. I've only seen the first season so far. Second season's currently in progress. It's on AMC, for those of you that would actually watch it on cable. But it's pretty great. Fighting's good. I enjoy the characters. It's a good show.
Cool.
Nice.
Blushweaver, do you have anything to recommend?
Fan fiction?
If you like, or anything really.
Okay, well, fan fiction, been reading one called Lucky Us by Princess Kitty 1. It's a fun, miraculous tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's an AU. She's taken away the aspect of them having superhero identities and, of course, done the cliche thing of them meeting online. And it's really fun because she's taken the characters and expanded them in a way that the anime / whatever you call it, because it's French, and has expanded the characters and give them more depth. And it's just really fun. There you go.
Fair play. My recommendation is a recommendation that's already been recommended, I think by Slicer, possibly by Kenshi, maybe at some point. It's called Professor Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a little unnecessary for me to recommend this since I think it's the number one story in the Ruby section. But
you can still recommend it.
Yeah, no shit.
It's up there. That dude does a lot.
Yeah. So basically what this is Jean Arc is terrible at just about everything, but he wants to go to Beacon Academy, and so he gets fake transcripts so he can get into the school, so he can be a hero and fight monsters and stuff. Funny thing is, in this story, his transcripts and history is too good. He is so accomplished and amazing that they don't want him to be a student, they want him to be a teacher.
What?
And acting on advice from his dad, he's like, well, I can't just, like, say this is, like, I have to take this. I don't really have a choice in the matter. If I say, like, no, then I just don't get what I want, and, like, I just, if I'm gonna lie, I'm just gonna lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, and it'll just make it the truth. Because that's how that works. So he does. And through some contrivances, admittedly, but it's a comedy fic, let it go. Basically, everyone ends up believing he is an incredible, almost mimetic badass. To the point where every now and again it'll give you everyone else's perspectives on what's going on, and the conclusions that they jump to about him are fascinating to me. Just because literally everything about him gets seen in the best possible light just because of reputation and basically nothing else.
Sounds fantastic.
It's
So he basically turns into
amazing.
Caiaphas Cain.
Sorry?
So he basically turns into Caiaphas Cain.
There's those crickets
Sounds like-
again. God damn it.
Sounds like Zeno whenever he thinks Saitama is super. What's the word I'm looking for? Teacher-esque, I don't know. Super smart, and no, he's just lazy.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's him getting deeper and deeper into the lies until literally everything is about to crush him. And that's about as far as I've gotten into the story. And it's so much fun. Like, really, I've been binging it for 2 days. It's a very long fic, by the way. And it's amazing. So, everyone should look at that if you've seen Ruby and think John's kind of a dumbass, because he is. So that's my recommendation. I think that's pretty much it for the episode. Aaron, want to jump in with anything real quick before we end? That's some dead silence. All right. So, like I say, this is the last episode in the original format for the show. So, next week we'll probably only have like the regular podcast, which will be the what we're doing stuff and just random chat for about an hour, and that'll come out on the usual day on Sunday. Everything else will come when it comes. Sorry, it's gonna take some setup. So, thanks for listening and stuff. I would like to thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux Crew episode 170. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments. Please do know on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'd like to thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 170. Bye now.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
So hard on that. So hard. I used to be good at that. What happened?